Good day! The main focus of this video is the alternation of generations. However, to furthermore understand the topic, let's recall the general lesson, which is botany. Botany is a branch of biology that deals with plants. More profoundly, the structure, growth, classifications, and of course, development. Botany is derived from different components. First is the evolution that leads to diversity at the same time unity. Next, building blocks to maintain internal balance. Third, living system that store, retrieve, transmit, and respond information essential to life processes. And lastly is the interaction of biological system. As a building foundation to alternation of generations, let's define the characteristic of land plants. Land plants are multicellular eukaryote. They are also considered as an autotroph. Autotroph is derived from the word auto, which means self, and troph, which means feeding. Thereby, they are self-feeding organism which can be a photosynthetic wherein it gets energy from the sun, or a chemosynthetic that the energy is from volcanoes or other volcanic material such as rocks and sulfur. Another thing, and in addition to those information, plants have seeds and their seeds are protected just like the seminal fluid that protects the sperm. Are you wondering why is it called alternation of generations? Here is the answer. Plants has two stages. It can be either a gametophyte stage or a sporophyte stage. When we say gametophyte stage, it is a multicellular haploid organism with half number of chromosomes. On the other hand, when we say sporophyte stage, it is a multicellular diploid organism with a complete number of chromosomes. Here is a trivia. A unique characteristic of plants wherein they are able to arise from a single sex cell. But there are disadvantages like no or not much adapted, less genetic pool, and of course, not that surviving in compare to the fusion of egg and sperm cell that undergoes fertilization. To furthermore understand the alternation of generations, here is an example. In this case, cucumber will be used. It will undergo sexual reproduction through cross-pollination, wherein the gametes transfer to another plant with an opposite sex. It will collide and undergo fertilization, forming a diploid organism known as zygote. A zygote is a single diploid organism. Unable to become a multicellular organism, it will undergo mitosis that creates tissues. Those tissues will be transformed into organs, then organ system until it creates an individual with a multicellular diploid organism. The spores will be produced by a sporophyte stage organism. It is a signal that when the organism is creating spores, it is already in the sporophyte stage. In this case, the sporophyte or multicellular diploid organism will undergo meiosis, which divides the cell into half, at the same time the number of chromosomes. The spore with half number of chromosomes will undergo mitosis that will produce haploid spores. Then rupture occur that leads to spreading. If the said spores will spread and not able to find a partner with an opposite sex, it will go through gametophyte stage and undergo mitosis. Are you aware that there are plants that are able to undergo fertilization by themselves? Here is an example. Ferns. It will start with a mature sporophyte organism. Sorus are under the leaf, which releases the spores. Sporangium is a part of Sorus, and it is known as the vessel filled with spores. it will undergo meiosis, which is known as the division of cell and also the number of chromosomes. It will lead to spore dispersion. After that, if the said spore is not able to find a partner or a favorable environment, it will be converted into a young gametophyte. It will mature, and then the spore structure will be removed, forming a rhizoid. A rhizoid is formed by a multicellular haploid cells that embody the anteregium, which is the male part that releases sperm, and the archegonium, which is the female part that contains the egg cell. When the anteregium releases sperm, it will slide down to the archegonium, which is known as a hollow structure, and then fertilization occur, forming a zygote with complete number of chromosome. The zygote with complete number of chromosome will undergo mitosis to become multicellular and then converted into a sporophyte organism. The said rhizoid will serve as the root and the trunk of the plant, and then the sporophyte organism, which is a multicellular diploid organism, will undergo meiosis and then forming spores, which are haploid. Therefore, ferns are able to undergo fertilization by themselves with the help of their unique structures, the archegonium and the anteregium.